If you've been wondering just how long the new Star Wars movie from Disney Lucasfilm, the first in 7 years, would last atop the box office, the answer was 5 days. 5 days. Renegade Online. Well, kids, welcome back. I know. You're wondering, where the hell is Valiant Renegade today? If you look around me, this studio may look slightly familiar to some of our viewers out there. It should, but more on that later. Yeah, indeed, the Star Wars movie surprised even me. Even with my relatively reasonably low expectations for the financial box office performance of this film, they were greatly exceeded in the wrong direction. There was an extremely strong indication at the Tuesday box office that Mandalorian and Grogu was in serious trouble. Look at this, 6.5 million on Discount Tuesday, with Obsession, the R-rated horror surprise movie of the year, only $1 million behind it. And I want to remind everybody, that is with no PLFs, no IMAX for Obsession. They all belong to Mando and Grogu, at least for the time being, and that is already changing coming into this weekend thanks to another movie coming out called Backrooms, and we'll get to how bad that's going to be in just a minute. But I said it yesterday. It looked like, for everything I was seeing, once we finally got the actual Wednesday numbers for Obsession and for Mandalorian and Grogu, and of course the box office at large, that Star Wars, after 5 days, would no longer be the #1 movie at the box office. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is from Exhibitor Relations. It's done. Obsession now takes the top spot at $5.6 million on Wednesday, with Mando and Grogu more than $1.4 million behind it. And I'll stress again that Obsession has done that with no premium large format screens, no Dolby Cinemas, no IMAXs, and has still pulled in far more butts and seats than has Mando and Grogu. If you had both of those movies on an even playing field, let's say no IMAXs, no PLFs, and no Dolby 40Xs, that means Mando and Grogu might actually be closer to 3.5 million. It's not just a testament at how stellar the performance of Obsession is, and it's not just a testament at how much audiences are adoring this movie. It's also a testament to what we knew coming in when it came to this particular major intellectual property, Star Wars. And that is that the normies out there just frankly aren't interested.
I don't really want this.
This movie was incredibly front-loaded in its opening weekend, much like we've tracked the last several years for most of the Phase 4 and 5 downgrade C and D tier Marvel movies that have been part of the MCU since 2021. It doesn't look like this era of Star Wars is any different. And of course, Disney is hoping that next year they get something much better out of the Ryan Gosling movie Starfighter. The problems for Star Wars aren't over yet. After 5 days of losing to Obsession, they have a new problem, and that's called Backrooms. And right now, if you believe a lot of the hype coming into this weekend, then Backrooms is looking to potentially do over $50 million, while The Mandalorian and Grogu is projected in many cases to do in the low 30s, if not the upper 20s. By the way, you can see the writing on the wall with Obsession since the weekend when Star Wars debuted. Take a look at this. Somebody put the numbers together here for us. On Saturday, the lead of Star Wars over Obsession was a little over $17 million. On Sunday, that lead had dropped to $12.8 million. And on Monday, $8.4 million was the lead. On Discount Tuesday, the lead had shrunk all the way to $1 million.
It's a disaster, man.
It was simply a matter of time, but quite frankly, the speed at which Star Wars lost the top spot at the box office shocked even me.
Don't you ever tell anyone where I've been.
And if Backrooms wasn't set to give Star Wars in its second weekend enough problems, Obsession just might take the #2 spot on the weekend box office. And I'm not even kidding. I've been speculating the last couple of days that given the meteoric rise of Obsession, we're looking at something that may actually do the unicorn hat trick again in its third weekend, meaning it's going to overperform in its third weekend compared to its first weekend, potentially maybe overperforming even the second weekend. And the reason is you might get a Barbenheimer effect, but in this case for two horror movies, Backrooms and Obsession. It's absolutely wild times at the box office right now when everybody's talking about two indie horror films that didn't cost but a couple of $1 million combined to put together versus the first Star Wars movie in 7 years. As of right now, I don't even know if The Mandalorian and Grogu is going to have even another $200 million in the till before Disney pulls this run, because as of right now, we're potentially tracking another 60+% second weekend drop for this movie, just like we saw with Solo back in 2018, that was roughly 65%. This movie does look like it's going to leg out like a typical Marvel Phase 4 and 5 type film, where roughly half of its entire box office run is already in the till by the time it reaches its 6th or 7th day in the box office. And again, this movie lost that top box office spot after just 5 days. It's a wreck. There's no getting around this. There's no trying to suggest that merchandise sales are somehow going to magically make up for the very public shaming and embarrassment at the box office from a financial performance perspective that this movie has wrought upon Disney. And this is one right now they are hoping to be able to forget in the next few weeks.
Make sure you're subscribed to Valiant Renegade and join us every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live show.